Hey guys, welcome to Still Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O, a lot of stuff on the pike. Hey, what went wrong in Pittsburgh with a 34-24 loss to the San Diego Chargers?
Big trouble and Big D, and yes, we're talking about Dallas.
Hey, man, what were you thinking? Somebody stole Reggie Wayne's Bentley.
Playoffs? Playoffs? Did we say playoffs?
All that and more coming up next on Steeler Nation Live.
With the name of the future. With the name of the future. And with the name of the future. Hey. Yeah. Shout out to Big Tiz, man. And Big O. Still a nation, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. You know what it is, man. Still a nation, man. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. Every night on Monday night, man. Hey. 7 to 8 on Monday night. Big O. Big Tiz. And it's a song. And it's Still a nation. Big Tiz. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. Still a nation. Big Tiz. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. Still a nation, man. Yeah. And it's a song. Big O. Yeah, I had to say it was a song, man. You know, it is a song, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. Big Tiz. Big yeah.
Hey guys, welcome Steeler Nation Live again. Big Tiz, Big O. What's going on tonight in the Steeler world? I'm telling you, the Steelers lose it big time tonight. Sunday against the San Diego Chargers. Big O, what's going on?
It's just another bad loss, Big Tiz. And, you know, I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Every time we play these teams that we should beat, not just win, but we should beat these teams handily, we end up losing. In fact, we talked about the last show about how the Chargers were coming in to Heinz Field. 4-game losing streak. They lost 7 out of their last 8 games. And Philip Rivers has given up 14 or 15 interceptions, not to mention 11 fumbles. And we went in there, didn't even create one turnover, and that will kill you.
Well, you know what? A lot of the Steeler problems is the Steelers are overlooking some teams they shouldn't be overlooking, especially the Chargers. The Chargers are giving the Steelers fits in a lot of games over the past, especially I believe the Steelers won. I'm not sure if the score was an 8-10 score or something like that a couple of years ago. But the Steelers have to be cognizant of that, and they have to put their mind forward and get towards playoff gear. So what are some other things that's going on? Actually, what do we have going on with in Indianapolis?
Oh, boy. We're going to talk about that later in the show with Man, What Were You Thinking? We have a lot of things going on, but for a couple of hotel valets in Indianapolis, wasn't a good night for them, at least what they started. But we'll talk about that later in the show. Is it time to start pointing blame?
It's a good question. Good question. I mean, if it comes around to that, the blame can kind of go all the way around for Steelers.
Oh, absolutely. Now I think it's starting to show that Mike Tomlin is a great coach. Undoubtedly. Is he overrated? Right now, it's kind of looking that way. But you know what? What started off to be a great players coach is now starting to bite him in the butt. Because the players are friends, they're buddies now. It's not a coach-player, it's just friends. And I think that's affecting the team because they're not getting up for these games. Even though we know and they know they should beat these teams, they're not getting up for the games. And I think the blame should fall all on the coaching staff, from Mike Tomlin to Dick LeBeau coming down, not readjusting, not fixing the defense, when something should have done at halftime. I thought, you know what, we watched the game, Big Tiz, somebody's going to get their butt chewed at halftime. I'd hate to be in that locker room, but you know what? They came out smelling like roses, and I think it affected their play in the second half.
Exactly. The Steelers, they came out lethargic in the second half, to be honest. And I mean, you had guys still dropping passes, and actually one of the big turnovers late too was the errant pass for Ben hit off the back of one of the guys, and that was covered up to be a touchdown, and which I don't understand that. I don't know, Big O, can you kind of explain that to me quickly about what a lateral is?
Oh, we're talking about the forward pass that hit Polston in the rear end, bounced back. I was kind of upset about that. Now, like we talked about in the past when the plays went up to the review booth, what reviews are they looking at? Every angle that we saw, thanks to the NFL Network, because it was on the DirecTV, every angle that we saw, Roethlisberger was behind Paulson. He threw it. Paulson was ahead of him. He got blocked back into the ball, and they just picked it up and scored a touchdown. I mean, nothing from Tomlin, no red flag. It boggles my mind. You need to keep on looking at this play, and it just, like I said earlier, that, you know, we should get some calls. We shouldn't rely on the calls. But
Right.
You know what? We need once in a while. You know, throw us a bone. Come on, really?
But you know what? There were a lot of other things going on in the NFL, and one of the things was the Johnny Football Manziel, winning the Heisman this weekend.
Yeah, he's the first redshirt freshman to ever win the Heisman Trophy. Congratulations to Johnny Football. We hope this is the beginning of a great professional career for you. I think it's a fluke.
Yeah, I don't know.
My opinion.
That's true. You're entitled to your opinion, but I think Johnny Manziel, he might even win it again next year, and that's pretty scary. I mean, you when you think of people winning it twice, you look at like Herschel Walker or different backs like Archie Griffin. You know, so these are the type of guys you're looking at winning it more than once. And this guy, he's a young quarterback, a freshman at that, and he won it. So there's more to see to come from this guy.
My opinion on it is if Texas A&M loses to Alabama, I don't think he wins it. I think Manti Te'o wins it, hands down. But when you go in Alabama and you beat them, I don't know. He had a great game against Alabama. That game doesn't exist. Neither does the Heisman Trophy. And a lot of other news going on in the NFL. Like we said earlier, trouble in Dallas. We'll get to that in a second. But first of all, we want to say we want to give thanks to the Washington Redskins. That's not a pretty good picture, but you know what? That's called taking one for the team. RG3 down late against the Ravens, and we want to thank the Washington Redskins for taking care of them. And you know what, Big Tiz? A little stat, because you know I love stats. Second game in a row that the Ravens lost. That hasn't happened since 2009.
Right.
But they lost to backup quarterbacks. Wow. What does that say about your team? Doesn't say anything about your offense too much, just the defense.
Exactly.
But what's going down in the Ravens camp right now, Big Tiz?
Well, the Ravens actually released their offensive coordinator. I believe it was Cam Cameron.
Oh boy, how are you gonna do that?
And I don't understand that at all. And maybe some of you guys out there can help us understand. If the defense is giving up the points, you release your offensive coordinator. I mean, I don't know. Now, he plus and minus, and he's doing subtractions and different other things. You know what I mean? Multiplication.
Well, we can look at it this way, Big Tiz, that Flacco is now being, the smoke and mirrors is gone, and now people are starting to see Flacco for what he is. He's really not that great of a quarterback. And you take away the running game from Rice,
right?
And now he's got to throw the ball. And now we're finding their weakness, not only on defense stopping the run, but he can't pass.
Exactly.
And Ravens were very smart not to give him a contract until after this year, kind of like our Wallace.
Exactly.
You know
Wallace wanted all the money, and he's not really. I mean, he caught 2 touchdowns over the weekend, but those were like basically gimme touchdowns, to be honest. And he's not showing up in the big moments when we need him. And I believe the last time I seen him show up in a very crucial time was the Giant game, and that was I'm talking about for the year.
Yeah, I mean, with the kind of money that you're looking for, you need to produce to show that you're worth it. I mean, granted, in the past, that's the past. You showed up for those games, but you know what, Big Tiz? When you put the cards on the table, you better know how to play the game.
Exactly.
And right now, it's showing for Flacco and it's showing for Wallace.
Exactly. And in other news, we also had the Seattle Seahawks with a 58-0 blowout of the Arizona Cardinals. Tell me if that's not going to cause reverberations to Arizona land.
Wow. Tiz, did you see that game?
No.
Neither did the Cardinals. And they were there. You know what? Let me give you a couple stats, Big Tiz, and you tell me if this sounds familiar. All right?
Okay.
8 turnovers in a game, over 9 penalties, under 200 yards total offense, time of possession like 25 minutes, and only 10 first downs. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, almost sound like the Steeler-Brown game.
Yeah, but they didn't lose 58-0. Even though it's the Browns, they didn't lose 58-0. But how do you explain that? Is that running up the score? Or is that just the Cardinals just giving up? What's your opinion on that, Big Tiz?
Like I said, it's going to be a lot of head swinging in Arizona. Hey, we're going to keep this move going. We're going to actually talk about Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne had his Bentley stolen from the guy who parks the car, the valet. Unbelievable.
Oh, boy. And you never guess what this kid's name is either.
Oh, yeah. Gunnar Belcher.
Oh, boy. No relation to Javon Belcher, as you can see.
21-year-old, apparently, I guess, went to park his car and parked it somewhere else, probably after a couple-mile ride.
Oh, yeah. And actually, what he was stopped for DWI, too. Boy, that's bad luck right there. But we'll get back into that. It's one of those things that that's one of the part of the show that we like to say, man, what were you thinking? And that's just an early show of that, what we got going on later in the show. But we had to bring it out. But, let's not put the lights and sirens away just yet there, Big Tiz, because we're not trying to make fun or light of the situation. But down in Dallas, what we said before, this young man is out on $500,000 bail, Big Tiz. You want to tell the folks why?
Well, apparently he was driving a vehicle which he had an accident in, and in that vehicle, his teammate, who was riding in the vehicle as well,
Jerry Brown Jr.
Jerry Brown Jr. was his life was lost in this tragic accident, and I don't know if you can see, if you're on the audio side, we have a picture up of him as well. And he was lost in this accident, so it's a hurt loss for the Cowboys and as well as his family. A young guy, 25 years old, to lose his life over basically a drunk driving case.
Oh, absolutely. And other news, and let's not get off that really quick. They both went to college together.
Right.
In a recent statement by Jerry Brown Jr.'s mom that they're praying for Ratliff's family. They're praying for him to get over this, and I guess she's trying to get over it. I've never lost a child, and I hope I never do.
Right.
It's you're not supposed to bury your children. Your children are supposed to bury you. However, very, very somber time for both families.
Exactly.
Because they both knew each other so well.
And as Big O was saying, and as I said at the beginning of the show, a lot of problems going on in Dallas. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel to Dallas this weekend, and there are a lot of things going on. Number one out of there, as well as this drunk driving case, is the fact of Jay Ratliff.
Who's Jay Ratliff?
Jay Ratliff is a nose tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, and apparently they were putting him down as being sidelined with a groin injury, but we know a little bit different.
Oh, absolutely. After the win against Philadelphia, Jerry Jones going through the locker room as usual. And he had a little talk with this young man, Mr. Ratliff, that the only reason why we know who he is because Mr. Ratliff went after Jerry Jones in a fit of rage, anger. When's the last time you see a player go after an owner and still be on the team?
Yeah, that was amazing. Unbelievable. I mean, you go after your owner. Any place you work, anywhere else, you attack the owner of the company, you're basically done.
Oh, boy. And you know what, Big Tiz? That's going to go into our hot topic for later on today in the show. Our hot topic it's a very serious topic, which you usually are. It's all about what is the NFL doing as far as these young players coming into the NFL, money-wise, any drug or alcohol counseling, domestic violence counseling. I'm sure there's some out there, but what is the NFL actually doing? Are they just saying, hey, go to these classes or courses and that's it? Or are they really strictly enforcing these classes? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the scoreboard, what happened in the NFL over the weekend, and love that Heinz Field scoreboard. If you're missing it on the radio side, I'm sorry. It's a picture of our beautiful Heinz ketchup scoreboard with the fans cheering in there. And so we're going to start going off the scores. And last Thursday night, the Broncos take care of the Raiders 26-13. The Eagles win a game over the Buccaneers in a close one, 23-21. Colts 27, Titans 21. They continue their playoff bound. And the Panthers 30 over the Falcons 20. Vikings beat the Bears 21-14. The Cowboys, thank you, folks in Dallas. They come back and win with a late second field goal over the Bengals, 20-19. Jets 17, Jaguars 10, and word on the street, the Jets have a chance for the playoffs. I guess me and you have a better chance, Big Tiz. And the Rams beat the Bills 15-12 in Buffalo. Browns continue to roll 30-7 over the Chiefs. Redskins 31. Ravens 28. Some free football, and we want to thank them Redskins as well for knocking off those Dirty Birds. 49ers 27. Dolphins 13. And we already talked about the Seahawks. Where were those Cardinals? 58-0. The New York Football Giants roll over the Saints in a bunch of interceptions by Drew Brees, 52-27. And Monday Night Football last night. Patriots. Here's a story of a man named Brady who threw for almost 300 yards and 4 TDs and no interceptions in a 42-14 rout over the Texans. And folks, this Thursday night, big game. Set your DVRs. Bengals go to the other Pennsylvania team this Thursday night on the NFL channel. If you have DirecTV, check it out. Root for that other Pennsylvania team. We really need a victory.
Like I said, the scores this weekend were happening, and they were happening in chunks. And a lot of it, like I said, thank God for RG3 doing his thing to the Ravens, because that was a big, big hit for the Steelers. So you know what? When we come back from this commercial, what I want to do is we're going to talk about Steeler news and updates. And we got a lot of things going on in the pipe tonight, so we want you guys to stay tuned. Especially, we have callers that's going to be on the board calling in. And
be patient, callers. We see you on the board, and we will get to you as soon as we get back from this commercial. Keep the calls rolling and keep patient, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
SteelerNationLive.net. It's live. Join Big O, Big T every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. New Year's only in-depth analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Black and gold. Game review. Injury report. Injury releases. Who got fired? Fantasy stats. Fantasy football. Rumor. Anything and everything you want to know about the black and gold. SteelerNationLive.net.
Uniform Express, located on 1408 Buffalo Road, Rochester, New York, for your police, fire, or EMS supplies. One of Rochester's top and finest suppliers of shirts, pants, shoes, boots, and accessories for your professional uniform needs. Uniform Express also does embroidery and screen print for team uniforms, jerseys, and corporations. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also go to their website at www.uniformexpress.com or call Brian at 585-529-4245. That's 585-529-4245. And let Brian know you heard his ad on our show, Steeler Nation Live.
Hey guys, welcome back, Steeler Nation Live. And right now we're gonna do, you know what? We're gonna hit the boards tonight because we want to get some calls from you guys. Actually, hey, this is Big Tiz and Big O. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna put the phone lines, and one of the calls we're gonna hit. The first caller tonight we're gonna hit is from East Virginia. East Virginia, how you doing tonight? This is Big Tiz and Big O on Steeler Nation Live. How's everything going? Oh, sorry about that. You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you can hear us as well.
What's up?
Hey, all right. How you doing, Virginia? How's it going down there?
Going pretty good. I'm missing home, though.
Well, that's awesome. We want to thank you for hanging on the line and calling in. And what do you want to say about your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers? We see that you're from Virginia, so like we say, Pittsburgh family and Pittsburgh Steeler Nation is all over the place, folks. Tell us about give us a little story about you, a little background from you.
I'm from the Burgh, but I work down here in the shipyard. work on aircraft carriers for a shipyard.
So how
And
oh.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. We cut you off, brother. I'm sorry about that. You can keep going.
yeah, I'm from up there, and like I said, born and bred, I work on aircraft carriers anchor for the Navy. So, what do you mean the run game? I mean, they're hitting the ball 10 times?
Yeah, it's really frustrating. You know, it doesn't matter who's under the center. It doesn't take. I could hand the ball off to people. You know, I mean, we're trying to establish this rushing game, and you know, and to set up the pass, you need to establish a rushing game, and it's very frustrating. I agree with you 100%.
And do you think maybe the game's starting to pass Dick LeBeau? Maybe it's time for him to go ahead and retire?
That's a good question, and we get that a lot about whether Dick LeBeau should stay on the team or not. But this guy is, I believe, is a mid-70s.
70, just turned 70.
Okay. But this guy, I tell you, this guy can go out there. He's the only guy I know at 70 years old that can walk right out the door and go land a job just like that tomorrow. And there are a lot of teams in the NFL that are salivating to get this guy. So I think it'll be a hard loss for the Steelers. So I think right now we're just trying to recover from just releasing some of the players that we did release during the offseason, this offseason. And so, like I said, it was a lot of big losses with Ferrier and some of the other guys. So, and guys are aging. So he's trying to get it all together. But like I said, I think we're missing just a couple pieces, but I can all see it falling together.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people down here are all over my boys, but I still will be in the league in February. I really do.
So I understand that you have a daughter who watches this game with you. Is she on the line, or does she want to talk? Do you want to say hi to her, or does she want to say hi to any of her friends at school, or any of your...
Yeah, but I made her a diehard Steelers fan. She's a fanatic now.
Yeah.
Hi. Say hi. Hi.
Oh, hey. Now who are we talking to?
What's your name? Deidre.
Deidre, how you doing? So you've been a Steelers fan all your life as well?
Talk to him.
It's all right. You could be shy. That's fine. Just don't mean to scare you, but anybody who can hear your voice around the world, you're saying hi to these people. So let it be known, Deidre, that you are a Steeler fan, and be proud of that. Don't be shy.
Yeah, they were still wrong and working on winning that Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely. So any other young folks at home want to say hi to Steeler Nation and all the folks out there, Steeler fans?
That's all it's on right now. I mean, he can be bargaining, but he's not. He's being quiet right now.
Hey, how's that puppy you got going? How's Big Ben doing?
He's doing great. He's doing good. People like to watch the game. Get so scared when you do the games and watch the games, and Big Ben kind of screws up a little bit. But of course, they yell at the TV about it, but he gets a little wants to know what he's doing wrong. Like, oh, Big Ben, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, folks, we want to thank you so much for calling in. And just a reminder, we do this pretty much every Tuesday unless something comes up. And we do a show another night. We would love to have you call in again. Whatever you got, recipes for food, because me and Big Tiz like to eat. If you ever come to Rochester, New York, there's a bar and pub and restaurant called McGinney's that we promote all the time. Fantastic food. Almost, if not better than Permane Brothers. We got a more variety of food. But thanks so much for calling, and hang on the line. And if you guys need anything, you know where to reach us at. And you got us on Facebook, you got our emails, you got our website, www.steelernationlive.net. And you got Big O 1933 Steelers at yahoo.com.
And let me get you my email, which is new. It's BigTiz@SteelerNationLive.net.
Woo!
Like I said, hit us up, and we'll see if we can get with you guys and take care of everything. So we appreciate you guys calling in to Steeler Nation Live, and we appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
That's right, and we'll take care of you folks. You take care of us. Nice.
All right, thanks.
Have a good night.
You guys, too. It was great hearing from you down there in Virginia. We had somebody from Atlanta last week, and we just keep the calls coming, and we try to squeeze people in. We got so much to talk about. But, folks, you have a great night, and we hope you have a good Christmas. and we'll see what we can do.
All right, hey, let's jump back into the Steeler news and updates. So there's a lot of things that we want to talk about with the Steelers, and the score didn't really dictate how the game really went.
Well, it was almost, I mean, almost they should have Cardinals jerseys on. I mean, there was no intensity. At no time during that game did I see anything from the Steelers sideline saying, hey, we need to get back into this game.
Right.
It was just going through the motions, and that's no way. We don't just want to make the playoffs. We want to make the playoffs. We want to make the championship game. We want to make the Super Bowl. But this attitude and this style of play is not going to get us there. But there is some good news, Big Tiz. Believe it or not. The teams that we're going to be playing, except the Browns,
Right.
are great teams. Very good teams. Teams that can beat us. Obviously, any team could beat us, as it shows in the past couple of losses. But you know what? We always play down to those poor teams. And we always seem to step it up
Exactly.
against the big teams. Giants, Ravens. These are no slouch teams.
Right.
You know what I mean? Browns, Chiefs, Chargers. Are you kidding me? A team that lost 7 out of 8 games, 4-game losing streak, they come into our house and beat us up? It's
Well, that's exactly what I was speaking to earlier. The Steelers have to stay focused and knowing that the games that's coming down the stretch are games that they possibly should win with no problems, but don't make a problem for yourself if you can, get them out of the way quickly.
So, Big Tiz, what do you got on the playoffs?
Well, the playoffs. Let me talk about the playoffs. So that's one thing that's going to be very, very sticky for the Steelers. And the Steelers have a lot on their plate. One thing to start off, let's start off this whole playoff selection thing right now. The Ravens are currently ranked number 4 in the AFC playoffs. So the Steelers, they have an outside chance to get in, but they have to do what they have to do. But the Steelers have a half-game lead on the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're 7-6 as well. But the Steelers have a 1.5-game lead on the New York Jets. And the reason that they have these leads is because the Steelers beat both of these teams earlier in the season. Now the Steelers can maybe squeak by even if they lose 2 of their last 3 games, but they must not let the Bengal game get by them. The Bengals game is a must. No matter what, out of all these games, the Steelers have to beat the Bengals. That way, with them beating the Bengals, they're assured of a playoff spot. And actually, the Bengals actually have a Thursday night game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's the other Pennsylvania team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're all hoping, and we're all big Philadelphia Eagle fans this week.
Oh, boy.
But the most ideal scenario is for the Steelers to beat all 3 opponents that they have left, which is Sunday with the Dallas Cowboys, and next week with the Cincinnati Bengals, and ending off with Cleveland coming back to Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of big games that the Steelers have to win them out, or if not win them out, they have to win the games that mean something, and which is the Cincinnati Bengals. So right now, Cincinnati is on our radar, and possibly, the way things look right now, the Ravens, actually, if they lose their next 3 games, firing their offensive coordinator, these guys could possibly not make the playoffs.
I mean, I'm pretty sure their quarterback's coach who's taking over. I didn't even write his name down because it's useless to us and to you folks out there because we could care less who's the offensive coordinator or whatnot. But you know what? While we're talking about coordinators and coaches, hey, Sean Kugler is probably going to be leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers. For those of you who don't know Sean Kugler, he's the offensive line coach. He's been there for many years. And looks like he's going to be going to his alma mater in UTEP, Texas El Paso, where he went there from, 1984 to 1988. And believe it or not, folks, after he graduated, he got hired as the offensive line coach for UTEP. And Andy Reid was the coach at the time. So it's kind of like a small world, and how you can see players go up through the ranks,
right,
and go from player to coach, and look at him now, and now he's going to be a head coach, and a little shaky there at the beginning of the year. We didn't have too much favoritism for Mr. Kugler, but it seems like he got his act together, and you know what? He's not a miracle worker, but when you got guys injured and you're switching positions, it's kind of tough. We wish him all the best of luck, coach, and when you go down to UTEP, and show them what Pittsburgh's all about. run it like a Steeler offense, and I guarantee you those UTEP will win some kind of bowl game.
Exactly, and that's the main thing. Just to see an ex-Steeler going somewhere else, like I said in the call earlier, like if we have Dick LeBeau leaving the Steelers, these guys are sought after commodities, and they'll be out there and they'll be picked up quickly. So in this game versus the Chargers, I mean the Chargers jumped on us early and never let go.
No, it's like we said earlier, we can't play catch-up football.
Right.
And that's one thing. You know, with Ben coming back, a lot of questions were like, was it too soon for Ben to come back? And we talked about this last week. In the event that Ben did play, that would probably be the best case scenario.
Right.
For him to play against a team like the Chargers and kind of ease back into it, knock some of the rust off, which he did earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of those throws were like, I thought Charlie Batch was playing. But you know what? I had to do it. But you know what, folks? You want to ease them into it, and you have to protect them, which they did pretty much. They only sacked them twice. And the thing that I was a little scary about is when Ben ran the ball, and you know what? He ran the ball for one more yard less than Dwyer, or I think he ran for 31 yards. Dwyer ran for 32. We have problems with this when your quarterback is almost rushing as much yards as your starting running back.
Well, I mean, you have to look at it in different aspects too as well. The running game was ineffective anyway early, and then when it did have a chance to run, the game was so out of control that all we can do was pass.
Yeah, just folks, when you see the score, if you didn't watch the game, you DVR'd it and decided not to watch it, the score, like Big Tiz said earlier, it does not depict the game. The game was pretty much over in the first half. Pittsburgh got 21 junk points.
Right, basically.
And this is pretty much where Dwyer got all his yards, and this is where Wallace got his touchdown. Not to take any credit away from Ben and Wallace actually catching the ball this time, but the last touchdown to Wallace was a great throw under pressure, right on the mark. That's what I mean for a guy who has this many injuries to his ribs, to his shoulder, to make accurate passes like that. That's what we need. And
yeah, I was impressed by the look of Roethlisberger this weekend. I mean, he looked sharp. Granted, he threw some big interceptions, but overall, his game looked sharp, and he had some movement. So that's all promising, especially with these big games looming for Pittsburgh.
Oh, absolutely. We've been talking. Our sources, close to Steeler Nation Live, have not said anything about Ben being hurt, any discomfort in the shoulder, the ribs, or whatnot. He really didn't take a beating. But anytime that you see your quarterback who has the propensity of getting hurt, it makes you wince. It makes you, is he going to get up? I mean, is he limping, or is he what's going on with that? And another thing, Big Tiz, you don't win games if you don't have the ball.
Exactly, I agree totally.
Now the Chargers had the ball, time possession, almost 40 minutes out of 60. The one last drive, I think it was in the third quarter, they had the ball almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, and these are numbers that the Steelers are used to putting up. And right now, with us having injuries all over the place. And one thing I did want to talk about, because a lot on our show, we do talk a lot about Ike Taylor and the fact of the loss of Ike Taylor in the lineup is a big thing for the Steelers. And we talk a lot about him because he had a lot of issues this year covering big receivers and things like that. But when he's gone, then you really see the effects, because we had Curtis Brown filling in for him over that game against the Chargers. And as you can see, Curtis Brown got thoroughly toasted in that game. And his replacement, Josh Victorian, came in the game as well, number 35, and he received the same treatment, toast. Like I said. So
yeah, but not to make light of it or nothing, but Victorian was pulled up that 2 days ago from the practice squad.
Right.
So which you have to, if you're on the practice squad, you got to be ready for that phone call. And when you get in there to play, you got to play. You can't be burned. You can't, because you lose. You lose the game. That's what it is.
Hey, guys, like I said, we're going to go to commercial quick. When we come back, we're going to go over the Steelers injury report, and then we're going to also jump into our hot topic for the night as well. So we'll be back from this commercial on Steeler Nation Live.
It's Spaghetti Sports Pub, located at 2246 East River Road.
perfect blend of Irish charm and Italian cuisine. From Calabria favorites like calamari to chicken French to the new signature dish like the Steel City Deli.
The Rockless Burger.
Everything is delicious and prepared fresh for you. They offer a full lineup of your favorite beverages with drink specials daily, and don't forget their $5 Monster Bomb.
Ice cold beer.
All day, every day. With 2 floors of seating and 20 high-def televisions, there's not a bad seat in the house to catch every minute of the NFL action.
Watch what you want.
McGinnis is the official home of the Rochester Steelers fan club.
Steelers!
So come on down to McGinnis Sports Pub, 2246 East River Road in Henrietta.
At Grease Lightning, we offer fast automotive service, specializing in oil changes and auto repairs. We offer convenient yet comprehensive maintenance and repair service, fast and no appointment necessary. At Grease Lightning, we offer the best prices on top name brands. We get you in, out, and on your way, just like Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning is locally owned and operated. So come on down to 2061 Chiley Avenue here in Rochester and talk to Charles because he's in charge. You can also call Charles at 585-563-7939 or go to our website at mygreaselightning.com. Welcome back, everybody, to Steeler Nation, SteelerNationLive.net here in Rochester, New York. And the weather report is it's cold out there, Big Tiz, and flakes are starting to fall. But do not fret, because we have 50-degree weather coming up for this weekend. So if you got some Christmas tree lights to hang out there, or you got to go out cut one down, this weekend will probably be the weekend to do it.
Might sound cold to you Virginia guys.
I hear it's pretty cold down there, down in Virginia. It's wow. Yeah, it's I think it was like 70 degrees the other day and down to 40 or something like that. Big Tiz doesn't like when I talk weather. It's been a while, Big Tiz. You know what? You know what? A lot of things we don't like to talk about, and weather is one of them because in Rochester, New York, hey, if you don't like the weather, wait, it changes in 2 minutes. But the injury report, don't like the injury report, and this is something that's been going on all year. I mean, it's like a potluck of who's going to play next week. And let's see, this is the injury report for the Dallas Cowboy game and who's going to play and who might not play. And we're going to start off with offensive tackle Mike Adams, still with that ankle injury. He has not practiced at all. Antonio Brown, full practice today, so he should be ready to go in Dallas.
Big ups, need him.
Now, Drew Butler, our punter, maybe he's out with the flu. And I'm thinking this is why he did such a horrible
job punting for
him. Oh, it was horrible. If it wasn't for that 179-yard punt that came kind of late, he wouldn't have had the high average of punts. It just wasn't a good day, and I think he was coming down with the flu. Not to make excuses for him, but I mean he's been spot on the whole year. So
right.
Let's get off his back for a minute there. Let's see, Willie Colon, knee surgery today. Now this is what I understand. Our sources coming out of Pittsburgh are saying it's going to be a couple weeks, but what are they, the miracle worker or miracle doctors there? He has knee surgery for a guy who weighs almost 400 pounds. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. Ryan Clark, hip injury. But you know what? He full practice, Big Tiz.
That's my boy.
Full practice. He was out there. And Jericho Cotchery, ribs, full practice. I didn't think we were going to see this guy at all until the playoffs. And I said playoffs. Let's see. Will Johnson, full practice. He had a concussion. Not this past game, but the game before. And he's still suffering some of the effects against the Chargers. So he practiced fully. Roethlisberger, shoulder, ribs, full practice. No pain. Sanders, full practice. Ike Taylor, he's done. Mike Wallace, full practice. I don't know what his problem with the knee. This is something new to me. He wasn't limping. He seemed pretty fine watching him play against the Chargers, but he's on the list, and we all know Lamar Woodley did not practice. Ankle, ouch. Now, for those of you folks keeping score at home, when you see a game status, we just want to let you know, just give you a little tidbit about when you see, if you're looking at the news or whatnot, and you got your little symbols on there, Little things like FP would mean full practice. Full participation in practice means 100% of a player's normal repetitions, which is a good thing, which means that more than likely he's going to play. We all know OUT means out. This player's not to be playing. When you see somebody that says doubtful, like especially if for you fantasy folks out there, even though it's pretty much over, and if you're winning your leagues right now, congratulations. We could probably attribute that to Johnny B's fantasy football. Yeah. And Johnny B, we know you're listening out there. I think you're back in Seattle. We don't know, but we want to thank you for all your work and effort this season with fantasy. Doubtful, 25% a chance a player will play if you're doubtful. All right. Questionable is 50%.
Right.
And probable is 75%. So you want to see 100%, you want to see full participation, or you want to see that probable. And if you're looking at your player and you want to know if your favorite player is going to be playing, and I guess Deidre from Virginia, I think her favorite player is Ben Roethlisberger, and I'm pretty sure that she's very, very happy and very excited he's playing again. So that's awesome out there.
So you know what, guys? We're going to jump right into our hot topic for the night. And I'm going to let Big O take this over because this is his baby. This is his hot topic for the night. And this should be an interesting one. And we're going to get some of you guys' feedback. If you're calling on the phone, 724-444, you know what? You got to call in and you got to get us to win it. So like I said, you call in, you put 115-243, hit pound, and hit 1 in pound for guest, and you're in, and you can talk to Big Tiz and Big O. So Big O, take it over, baby. Hot topic.
This is a huge topic, Big Tiz. We kind of pieced it together during the season of what is the NFL standards to such things as drug and alcohol counseling in classes. What is the NFL's take on domestic violence, arrests, or whatnot? Mm-hmm. And I think that the NFL is not taking this seriously. How many players need to die? How many players need to be arrested before the NFL and Goodell steps in? Okay, he did a good job, depending on what side of the ball you're on, as far as his bounty gate. He overturned 4 of the suspensions today. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to give it any more airtime for what it is. It is what it is. Okay, I think what needs to be handled right now is the NFL needs to step up. The players' union needs to step up, and they need to ask for help. We talked about concussions earlier this year. What is the NFL doing? Well, they're trying to create some kind of space-age helmet. That's fantastic. What's going on with that? Have you heard anything about that, Big Tiz?
Just the same. They created these helmets, so I guess I haven't heard the official numbers of if it's actually working, but there are a lot of players out there that are wearing it, and one of them is Ryan Clark, I believe.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Since the Super Bowl, over 37 NFL players have been arrested by either DWI, domestic violence, or assault in some kind of way. Okay, I wrote down 10 names, but I don't want to get into it right now. It's really a mute issue. But what we have to talk about is the topic on hand. What is the NFL going to do? Now, they have not returned any of our phone calls or any emails because we're looking into this. So we kind of report this kind of, off the hip. But is there a plan? Is there a program? And we talked about this at the beginning of the year about these young kids coming out of college, never had a job, and all of a sudden everybody's throwing money at them. You're making millions and millions of dollars a year that you've never even worked. What do you do with this money? Do you invest it? No. A lot of these players, and we went over it before, are bankrupt right now. Players that you would never think of. Terrell Owens.
Yeah, I mean, it goes down the list. There are a lot of guys that are out there, they come into the league being young guys, and they lose their money by spending, it extravagantly on, big ticket items, not realizing that they only have a 4-year span of their NFL career, and these guys have to watch their money.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys who come out of colleges, we don't know how they actually passed, but they come out with no future. It's just the NFL. They don't think that far ahead. Is there counseling for that? What am I going to do if I get hurt? I can be the best player, the best shape, in the NFL, but if I get an injury that ruins my career, what am I going to be? What am I going to do? There's only so many people they can allow in those booths to be announcers. But and domestic violence, that's huge. two names off the top of my head. Chad Ocho Cinco Stinko and Des Bryant. Now, Ocho Cinco headbutted his girlfriend, split her head open. Des Bryant beat up his mother.
Yeah, and don't forget Javon Belcher, which was a big one a couple weeks ago.
Javon
or
Belcher,
last week.
murder-suicide.
Right.
I mean, we all have problems. We all have issues. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, we all have problems. When is it time? When do we go see somebody seriously to get help? Now, these guys coming out of college, I want to speak for everybody, but they run this high horse. They got the big chip on their shoulder. They don't need nothing. They got the NFL. They got the money. The NFL needs to make these courses, these classes mandatory, or else you don't play, or else you don't get a paycheck. And it's not, hey, you got to go do this, and somebody signs it off. You have to go and take these, because this is about people's lives, families. This little baby, Javon Belcher's daughter, 3-year-old baby,
Right.
has no mommy, has no daddy.
Well, like I said, to me, they should put the same effort and power and determination as they would put into the so-called NFL combines. You know, just to see how this player reacts to this, reacts to that. How about seeing how he reacts to a situation with his family? You know, because everything starts home, and that's the key right there. Is like once you can hone your home life, then it will kind of help you out in your other aspects of your life. You know, your NFL or your work or whatever you do.
Absolutely, and you know, it not only will make you a better player, but it'll make you a better person. Now, I'm not trying to preach religions or whatnot, but you know what, and it's not something we just decided, you know, let's talk about this because we got nothing else to do. This is serious. I mean, people are losing their lives, and it's, you know, and a lot of people say it's just a game, but it's not just a game. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life, and people have to understand this. And the NFL needs to clamp down on this. They need to make this stuff mandatory, because I could give you a laundry list of people right now who assaulted somebody with a car, DWI. It goes on and on and on, and it's time for Goodell and the NFL to put their foot down, and the union, the National Football League Players Association, they need to step up and ask for help from the NFL to get counseling for these people. Everybody needs to go through it, not just because after something. You know, that's closing the barn door after the horse is gone, Big Tiz. You know what I mean? You might help somebody down the road, but what about that person you could have helped?
Exactly. I love that, Tommy. Actually, you guys, like I said, go to our website if you want to and leave your information there, your feedback there, www.steelernationlive.net. Leave your info there, and we'll be sure to answer it from Big Tiz and Big O. Hey, Big O, you know what? Why don't we step into the next phase of our show? And you know the thing. What were you thinking, brother?
Oh, boy. Man, what were you thinking?
Man, what were you thinking?
I love that.
Oh, man.
And one of the things when we say that, man, what were you thinking? Here's a good example of Reggie Wayne of the Indianapolis Colts has his Bentley stolen by the valet who was parking his car. That's unbelievable. This guy takes the keys from him, hops in his car, and he's gone.
And we're not talking, I don't know, it's just Joe whatever, who booked in a hotel room. This is Reggie Wayne, one of the most prolific wide receivers in NFL history, and I think he's chasing the guy. If you're on a radio side and you can't see the picture, it's Wayne running with the football. Looks like he's gonna throw it at the kid.
Well, actually, his valet, Parker, he was a 21-year-old Gunnar Belcher. Unbelievable. And not that we just heard enough from Javon Belcher. Now we have Gunnar Belcher, who apparently stole this vehicle from Reggie Wayne.
They are no relation, Big Tiz. No relation.
And actually, some other things we had going on. Vince Young.
What happened to Vince Young?
Vince Young tweeted Larry Fitzgerald after the Cardinals blow out, "You're getting blown out. You know I can help. Tell the coach."
Come on, man. What was he thinking? I mean, did he put it out to tweet so maybe some other coach would say, "Hey, there's an idea. Let's get Vince Young." He's kind of like a head case, isn't he?
Yeah, but we all know he is.
What's this guy's deal right here?
Vikings punter Chris Kluwe with a posted note on the jersey campaigning for Ray Guy to get voted in the Hall of Fame.
Now, you know what? If this was Terrell Owens, this would be all over the news, okay? granted, he's going to be fine, and he's been known this punter because he's just a punter. He's not a linebacker. He's not in the real limelight, so he's got to do whatever he can. He tweets a lot of stuff, gets under people's skin. But you know what? Have you heard anything about this kid other than the other day? No, I haven't, and it's just under the rug, and that's ridiculous because, like I said, if this was Harrison or speaking about the commissioner, Goodell, or Clark, or anybody like that, speaking about the commissioner, you know what? They would have been fined, suspended, or whatnot. So it just blows my mind how some people get away with stuff.
One of the last ones we're going to talk about on Man, what were you thinking? Frank Gore. He sports a T-shirt with a dead dolphin turned upside down with the X going through his eyes, showing that he's dead after the 49ers win versus the Dolphins. And there are a lot of people in Dolphin land that didn't like that too much, as you can probably tell.
No, and sources say that he had that packed away deep in his luggage, and he was asked, there's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people, but this pretty much was a stupid question. It was asked, what if you lost? Would you have worn the shirt? Really?
Hey, you know what? He did. So, like I said, he's going to have to deal with the ramifications of it because it's going to be big if they play him again.
Oh, boy.
Hey, guys, you know what? I want to step right into this weekend's game, the Steelers at the Cowboys. Beautiful game. This game has so much grudge match to it. It's unbelievable. From the 70s, 80s, coming up to what it is right now. You know what? The Steelers have dominated. And like I said, we're a little weak right now, so it kind of scares me, but I still think we can pull it out. So, Big O, what do you think of some of the plans we have to do to beat the Cowboys?
Okay, we could probably stop the tape right now, and we could splice in every week. We talk about the same thing every week. And you know what? Our win-loss record does not depict. We should be the coaches out there, Big Tiz, because every show that we had, and we said, this is what the Steelers need to do to win.
Right.
They've done it 7 times. Okay? All right? Are you with me?
Yep.
And the times that they didn't do it 6 times,
right,
they lost. But we're going to go over it once again in the hopes that somebody's out there listening saying, hey, these guys from Rochester, New York, big Steeler fans, because obviously www.steelnationlive.net, that's us, we have a game plan. And it goes like this. Run. Can I say it any different than that? And the reason of this, we need to keep the offense on the field. We need to keep the defense on the field. More so that the defense doesn't have time to substitute. No huddle, run. It's not going to be right off the bat. We would love to have the running game, go Dwyer 30, 40 yards first couple of carries. That'd be fantastic. Don't think it's going to happen. Play action. How many play action plays do we see against the Chargers?
None.
How many running plays do we see against the Chargers?
A handful.
Not many. And here's what we're going to do. Bubble screens. The short release passes that when we did them, they pretty much worked. And when we did them, we won 7 games. That's part of the equation. Dink and dunk. Remember, Ben says, I don't know where that came from. You're full of it, Ben. You know you created this. You and Todd Haley created this.
Right.
And it's simple. Just like on volleyball. Sometimes you got to dink and dunk to get the ball over the net to win. Sometimes you got to throw it deep when you think you're going to dink.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, that is the key right there. And that right there, that dink and dunk offense is actually beautiful right now because it plays to the Steelers' game plan with having not a great line, but a line that can probably block for seconds just to get the ball out of Ben's hand. So that's the main thing. Right now, just like I said so many shows before, Heath Miller should definitely, where he is right now actually, leading the team in receiving yards and catches because this guy should be getting the majority of the passes. Everything should be geared around the short game to go long.
Now, problem with the O-line, okay, really hasn't been protecting Ben or any other quarterback that good. Beautiful. Let's use that to our advantage. Let them blitz. Let them send everybody they want. That just opens themselves up to that dink and dunk. It opens themselves up to the tight end screen, to the bubble screen, to just a normal screen to the running back. Let them in. And then, guess what, folks? They're going to stop blitzing. They're gonna stop running over the play. And that sets them back, gives Ben more time to throw the ball. It gives more time to find the gaps in the holes for Dwyer. for Redmond to run. It's not rocket science. So hopefully somebody's listening about that. And you know what? We have to control the game clock. We had a chance to win that game. But when you have drives of over 9 minutes and your defense is struggling, giving up third downs,
Third down after third down. Yep.
and letting them, just control the ball and control the clock, it's really almost impossible to come back on that. And what about defense, Big Tiz? What do you think the biggest things we have to do?
Well, the defense, they definitely have to step up and get the turnovers, which they haven't been doing as of late. But they have to keep that constant control of pressure on Romo, because Romo is one of the kings of getting frustrated when he gets a lot of pressure. So if we can force pressure, pressure turns into turnovers. And the Steelers have to not drop these passes when they hit you in the hands, catch them, you defensive backs.
Right, and we can't get caught up in the hype of that beautiful stadium. That is a phenomenal stadium. If you have never been there, you should go there. Take a tour. I think it's like a 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, we
but
heard
you know what, folks? I'm guaranteed you'll be back from that tour because you want to go to Heinz Field and get a tour from Heinz Field. The best. If you've never been to Heinz Field, you need to check it out. Heinz Field is great. You got great food specials from Manny Brothers in there. Everything you want. Iron City beer, delish. I don't know about you, Big Tiz, but I'm a big fan.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I love good food.
I'm a fan on Facebook.
Love it.
You would be. No. So what are you trying to say?
But one of the other main things that we have to do in the game, the Steelers have to control the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Because no matter which way they do it, he's going to get the ball.
And you know what? I guarantee you, Harrison is going to be on him the whole game. And the only bad thing about that is that takes away the pressure from that side of the field. Unless we do a little stunt like Worlds will go take over while Harrison, because he's fast, he can cover. Another problem with that is Harrison's size as compared to Witten's. There's a mismatch right there.
Right.
If Romo is not getting pressured, if he gets the ball to Witten, if it's anywhere near Witten, he's going to catch the ball.
Oh yeah.
But Harrison will be there to tackle.
And the other thing, what we have to do as well is when he catches the ball, we have to make him pay for catching the ball.
Legally, though, Big.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want you up there in front of Goodell talking about some kind of bounty program, all right? Big Tiz.
Exactly.
We need you here on the show because you're the master of this show, so we need you.
Well, Big O, let me ask you, what are you seeing as a final score with the Steelers going down to the Cowboys? Another big game, and the Steelers usually this year have been playing up to the competition, so what do you think?
Well, I'm getting close to my predictions, Big Tiz. I predicted Steelers going to win with 24 points. They ended up with 24 points. I also predicted the Chargers will get the ball in the first drive. They'll march right down, kick the field goal.
Right. Yeah, you did.
Do I have to roll the tape?
No, I believe you got it.
But you know what? This is going to be a close game. It's going to be a tough-fought match game. 3 and outs by both sides. But you know what? Pittsburgh is going to outlast the Cowboys 17-10. That's what I predict. I think it's going to be a close game. But we're going to come out on top.
I could see the Steelers maybe getting a 17 for the Cowboys and 27 for the Steelers. And I say that because I can see the Steelers actually doing something what we don't expect them to do, and that's opening up the game.
Right.
So, and like I said, the Steelers are kind of funny about that. They play up to the teams you don't think that they can beat, and they go right into their house and they beat them.
That's true.
So, guys, like I said, one of our next topics, what we wanted to talk about, which is the big topic here on Steeler Nation Live, is where are they now? And the where are they now tonight is on Jack Lambert, the big legend, number 58, Steeler Nation strong.
Oh, you gotta love this guy. Just look at him. I mean, the lanky, skinny guy. You would never think he really wasn't meant to be a middle linebacker. But the tenacity from this guy is huge. And if you're not a fan, and I should have worn my Jack Lambert jersey tonight. I just forgot. Kind of dressing down for tonight, trying to get relaxed in that relaxed motion. But you know what? We need to honor this guy because he did so much for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll do a little history about Jack Lambert. Where is he now? And where are they now? It's going to be a new topic that me and Big Tiz are going to instill in this show for the last couple of last couple shows. So, folks, if there's anybody out there on the Pittsburgh Steelers, it doesn't matter what year, what era, what team. If there's somebody that that was a favorite player of yours and you have no idea where they are, or you want an update on them, send us an email. Call the show right now. Tell us. We'll write it down, and next show we'll gather all the people, what they mentioned, and we're gonna pick a name out of the hat, and hopefully it's the guy that you picked. But let's talk a little bit about Jack Lambert. Where is he now? Well, you know what? Ever so often, one of Lauren Lambert's schoolmates, and that's Jack's wife, obviously, Lauren, will realize that Lauren's father, a Little League baseball coach named Jack, was the raging, toothless middle linebacker on the Steelers' 4 Super Bowl teams of the 1970s. Well, Lauren, that's his daughter. I kind of made a mistake. It's not his wife. But Lauren, the daughter of Jack Lambert, her typical response was, "That's just my dad." But Lauren's mother has witnessed a few of those encounters. They all run up to it. "That's not your dad. That's Jack Lambert." Lisa Lambert, that's his wife. Of 17 years, the no teeth, the snarling, the legs pumping, they can't believe it's him. But it is Big Tiz. The most revered of all Steeler icons has long been living a tranquil life some 40 miles north of the site of the old Three Rivers Stadium. As tranquil, anyhow, as any family life can be with 4 children, playing about 10 different sports. We know all about that, Big Tiz, with our kids. Jack and Lisa Lambert are raising their kids on a 125-acre plot in the rural outpost of Worthington. Population 763. 7 miles west of Kittanning. Jack, 52, now, or was a volunteer deputy wildlife officer before he shifted gears several years ago. He now focuses on coaching youth baseball, basketball, tending to his land, and working religiously to maintain the town's pristine ball fields. He fits in well, said Dave Stewart, the president of the Worthington Little League Association. Before he started helping me mow the fields, he'd be up with his son Johnny's practices one night and said, "You mind if I mow someday?" This is Jack Lambert, okay? He said, "Heck no, I don't care." The Lambert clan includes Lauren, a junior at Kittanning High School, Elizabeth, a freshman, and their younger brothers John, 13, and Ty, 11. Now, most people do know about his identity, but because they lived there 17 years, they try to keep it low. They don't flaunt it. Now, come on now. That's class. But you know what? If you ever get in a little fender bender or, in the grocery store and somebody's behind you, "Hey, you know who my husband is?" Jack Lambert. You better watch it.
Exactly. An icon of icons. This guy has been on the Steelers for years in our hearts. I mean, this guy has came up big so many times over those 70s as one of the cornerstones of that 4 Super Bowl ring that the Steelers picked up with him there. Amazing individual, too. Actually, now, I can tell from the pictures that we had up there that he probably would like to be out there by himself.
Oh, yeah. 4 Super Bowls, Big Tiz.
Hey, guys, you know what? We're going to go to final commercial for the night. When we come back, we're going to give you our final thoughts for the night, and we'll have another one in the books here on Steeler Nation Live.
When excellence is your only option, look no further than Supreme Limousine. For any special occasion or need, Supreme Limousine will be there for you. Weddings, proms, wine tours, sporting events, bachelor and bachelorette parties, just to name a few. At Supreme Limo, they know how difficult planning a big event can be, so leave your worries behind because Supreme Limousine will give you peace of mind. Call Rich at 585-425-3711 and set up your special event today. Serving New York and parts of Canada for many years and through all of New York's worst weather, you will get to where you're going on time and safe. When you need a ride, Supreme Limousine is on your side. So call Rich at 585-425-3711. And at Supreme Limousine, you get supreme service, not a supreme price. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, look no further than Dan Powell. Dan knows that buying or selling a home is one of the most important things you will ever do. Dan wants to make that experience as smooth and successful as possible. Dan's extensive expertise in the real estate market will benefit you whether you're looking to buy or sell a home. Once Dan knows what you want, he will work tirelessly to find the right home for you because no one should compromise when it comes to such a huge purchase. Whether you're looking for homes for sale,
moving resources, or even mortgage information, everything you need is right here with Dan. Dan will always be available for personal service by phone or email, so feel free to contact him with questions at any time. So when buying or selling a home, don't get frustrated or throw in the towel. Just call Dan Powell at 585-704-8324. That's 585-704-8324, or email Dan at dan@rochhomefinder.com. That's Dan at ROCHOMEFINDER.com.
Honey, I just found a great new place to take us out to eat for breakfast. Critics Restaurant, 906 West Main Street, Rochester, New York. Critics is the ultimate in family breakfast dining. And if you're a Steeler fan, hey, you found the right place, Critics Restaurant. Critics Restaurant has been a neighborhood fixture in Rochester, New York for over 40 years. Good food, good fun. Critics Restaurant, 906 West Main Street. Come check us out. Hey guys, back here, Steeler Nation Live, Big Tiz, Big O. We come to the end of this show, and what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my final thoughts for the Steelers for this week, and hopefully everything comes to fruition for true. Oh, woo! But let's start it off. You know what? I see the Steelers going into Dallas and giving Dallas the same thing they gave Dallas so many other times before. I believe the last meeting they came to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh won that game with a late interception into the end zone from Tony Romo. Thank goodness he was in a giving mood. And I can see more or less the same type of thing with Dallas feeling that they have to win every game to stay in it, but I can see the Steelers are hungry right now, and the Steelers are hurt. And you know what happens when an animal is hurt? They are very, very dangerous. And I can see the Steelers coming from that and being dangerous. So, like I said, I can see Ben being sharp. If we keep to that same dink and dunk type offense, I can't see them stopping us, especially if Heath Miller is the focus of this. Heath Miller, Antonio Brown, Heath Miller, Antonio Brown, the backs flaring out of the backfield. I'm telling you, then everything is going to open up wide open, and you can possibly hit Mike Wallace for a long touchdown late in the game. The Steelers have to do what they need to do to stay in it. And like I said, this game, if we lose, it's not everything is lost, but the Steelers have to stay focused. They have to stay focused to get past the Cowboys. And that way, with the Bengals hopefully losing this week to the Philadelphia Eagles, the Steelers can probably get that cushion that they need. And we're all hoping for that. So Steelers, stay focused. Ben, keep your head on straight. Short passes, get the ball out of your hand as quickly as possible, and especially knowing our line situation. And actually, Big O, just to let you know, I don't know if you know that our line situation, our centers are actually going to the guard, and Legursky's coming right in. So, like I said, we got a new – that's the Steelers, plug and play. So we got to get with it. And I can see the Steelers, like I said, pulling this out 27-17. So hopefully everything works out, and hopefully Sunday is a good day for everybody.
Big Tiz, I love that score. You got kind of brave with it. You get more optimistic than I am. However, a lot of people said Ben wasn't ready, or should have been, in the game. True, from past history last year of playing injured. But you know what? This, like I said earlier in the show, this was the perfect game to put Ben in there. A team that really doesn't have that much enthusiasm on defense, not really that strong of a defensive team, and that Ben could slowly come into this game and knock some of the rust off. As we've seen in all our 6 losses, no running game, no win. They're forcing our quarterbacks to throw the ball and get into situations that are meant for catch-up. We cannot catch up. And we cannot turn the ball over. Granted, that one, the one interception that Ben threw, if you look at it over and over again, you can kind of see what he was trying to do. He was trying to throw the ball to Sanders, but there was somebody obviously in between them too. So you really can't blame him too much for that. The turnovers that we've been giving other teams, they've been scoring. We're not talking about field goals. We're talking an average of 17 to 20 points off of turnovers. Just like the Cleveland game, 17 points off of turnovers. You subtract those 17 points, we win this game. Not the way you want to win, a crappy win like we did against the Chiefs. But you know what? We have to flip that over. Instead of giving the ball away, we have to take the ball. We have to create turnovers. We just can't get out there and make plays. We have to create turnovers. We have to stop third downs.
Right.
There was a bunch of situations, third and forever, and they would get the first downs. And you know, if you want to rest, you want to get those third downs, you want to get those 3 and outs, so you're on the sidelines resting and let the offense come in and take charge. We can't put Ben into the position where he needs to play catch up and throw the ball, because that opens all the avenues and opportunities for the other team to get clear shots at Ben. And we can't allow that. We can't have that. So, in essence, getting back to what I first started saying, we have to establish the run. I say it every week, and 7 times I was right, because that's when we did it. Establish the run to set up the pass. Start off with the short screens. Start off with the bubble screens. No huddle offense. Keep the defense guessing. Keep them on their toes. And we have to put the teams away early. We have to score when we have the ball in the red zone. We can't kick field goals. We haven't even been in the red zone, let alone 6 times against the Chargers where we're on the other side of the 50. That doesn't win ball games, Big Tiz. I don't know what other planet some other people may be on, but that just doesn't win it. And that leads up to why we got those points, garbage points. And, you know, a touchdown's a touchdown, whether you garbage or whatnot, but you know what? You want to do it legit. We need to control the clock, control the ball, control the game. We want to play to win, not play not to lose. And special teams, they got to get special again. The only guy who's doing the job on special teams is Swisham. And you can't rely on a kicker to win your game every time. So establish a run, set up the pass, bubble screens, no huddle offense, play action, and guaranteed, if this happens, folks, you can write it down. I guarantee a win if all this is put into play, and it's not that very hard. You don't really have to block that much to run the ball if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Smash mouth football.
That's it, baby. Hey, Big O, well said. Well done.
Woo, I can't believe the show's over. It's kind of like flu.
Hey, guys, you know what? Another show in the books, and we had a great time with you guys, especially you guys online texting, you guys calling in, especially up Virginia. Big ups to you guys calling in, and, you know, we wish you guys well for the holidays. Like I said, if you want to get in contact with us, Big Tiz at SteelerNationLive.net and Big O 1933 at Yahoo, Steelers.com.
That's me.
Yep. And like I said, you hit us up, and we'll get back in contact with you. And to you guys, other guys out there in Steeler Nation land, the Steelers going to do it. We're going to be in it. So don't worry. We'll be here talking holiday football. We'll all be here. So let's get ready.
Yeah, but the way it's looking now, Big Tiz, but when we make the playoffs as the number 6 seed, looks like we'll be playing the Broncos in Denver again. So
let's hope for this time it's a different turnout.
But you know we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Exactly. So hey, from Big Tiz,
Big O,
another one in the books on Steeler Nation Live.
Like us on Facebook.
With the name of the future. And with the name of the future, hey. Yeah. Shout out to Big Tiz, man. And Big O. It's still a nation, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. You know what it is, man. Still a nation, man. Big O. Yeah, Tiz. Big O. Every night on Monday night, man. Hey. 7 to 8 on Monday night. Big O. Big Tiz. And it's a song. And it's still a nation. Big Tiz. Big O. Big Tiz. Big O. Still a nation. Big Tiz, Big O, Big Tiz, Big O. Still a nation, man. Yeah, Mr. Stone, Big O. Yeah, I had to say it was a stone, man. You know, it is a stone, man. Yeah, Big Tiz, Big O, Big Tiz, Big O.